misfits and miscreants, bangers and mashers, deviants and the deviated, the tormented and the fermented, ghouls and goblins, creatures of the night. Jack your headphones, crank the volume to max, spark it up, and just relax. It's time for your deadly dose. Welcome to the next installment of Metal Mischief, and actually the first installment of Video Mischief. It's also very special because it's the 200th episode for Metal Forge. Mark, Mr. Mark Jackson, everybody, from the Metal Forge.
Hello.
If you've never put the face to the name, but you've been following him all these years, then and listening for 199 other episodes, then this is the man right here. This is Mark from Metal Forge Radio, and this is the 200th episode.
Yeah.
And actually, kind of a funny story. I hit my head earlier, and I'm not going to cover the shit I was going to cover originally.
That was pretty rough.
He saw it happen. It totally jumped out in front of me. No, actually what happened is the band that I was interested in, I was having a lot of troubles like getting to their information and, you know, having enough to give you guys when it comes to like wanting to know about these bands. So instead, Mark and I kind of just went on a whim and found this band that I'm actually quite impressed with. Mm-hmm. They're from France. And here's the other thing, is the other band that I was going to cover called Morgue. Now, here's the thing, there's several Morgues. I mean, there's like over a dozen. When I Googled the Morgue band, this one particularly was from France. So I was Googling the French Morgue. There's like Swedish Morgue and like Finland Morgue and like Italian Morgue. And I mean, there's like, I actually never knew there was...
Smorgas Morgue.
I think Mark just went like metal dad joke.
Dad joke metal.
Yeah. So yeah, we might have been drinking a little bit tonight because it is the 200th episode. So we are celebrating. So
to the 200th.
To the 200th. So anyway, there's so many morgues and so many ins and outs for this fucking band that even though I really enjoyed the album that was sent to me originally, I really, really enjoyed it. There's not enough for me to talk about. So, anyway, I digress, like I do often. Instead, we ended up finding this band called Depressive Witches. Now, you would think Depressive Witches, and maybe it's like some like doomy metal, right? Because it's Depressive Witches. You just think like really like mopey witches and stuff, but no. If you can hear the music in the background, which, let me actually just turn that up a little bit. If you're paying any attention, it's more like a black and roll, or a little bit, in some points it's like thrash and roll.
Yeah.
But I'm jumping ahead of ourselves.
Yeah.
So anyway, we found this band, and they're awesome. Depressive Witches. Ironically enough, stumbling upon them, we realized that they have a new album coming out this Friday. That's right, Black Friday. Just ironic that they picked that day, right, Mark?
I think so. I mean, it doesn't seem like it would be coincidental.
No, I mean, they didn't plan this shit at all.
I mean, Black Metal Friday, maybe?
Maybe?
Sounds like a great idea.
Absolutely. So, this Friday, Black Metal Friday, Depressive Witches' new album comes out. But before we even get to that, because, man, I'm just jumping all over the place. I'm ad-libbing all this, so you guys, you might not know this, but I usually script all my Metal Mischiefs. Tonight...
It's meticulous.
Yeah, it's kind of like annoying how meticulous and the homework I put into it and everything. I just want to know goddamn everything about all these bands. You know. But tonight, we were doing a lot of celebrating and a lot of talking. So anyway, this is what you're getting. So pardon me if I jump around a lot. Here we go. Back to, like, we're just gonna rewind a little bit. Welcome to the next installment of Metal Mischief. On today's lineup, Depressive Witches, Bad Flask. Alright, I already liked the title of this album, like, right off the bat. You know, Bad Flask, that's just...
Yeah, I mean...
That's when I sneak into all the shows when they're outrageously priced bourbon, so I, like, bring my own shit.
Right.
No, wait.
You didn't do that,
I don't
did you?
do that.
You don't do
I
that.
don't do that.
You pay those $9 beer prices and $42 bourbon shots.
Yeah, and $12 PBRs? What kind of world are we living in?
Fucked up.
It's pretty fucked up. So anyway, getting back on track, this is Bad Flask. That's what's playing in the background. And we were both actually really impressed right off the bat when we started listening to them. We thought, okay, these guys kind of have like this Motorhead, like, kind of feel to it, you know? And what grabbed us is like their description was like black and roll.
Yeah.
So we were like, okay. And sure enough, it's like black metal mixed with like Motorhead, which is pretty fucking awesome.
I think so,
right.
Because, you know, everybody who knows me knows I'm a huge Motorhead fan.
Absolutely.
And, yeah,
I
because
mean,
who's not?
Right, who the fuck's not? I don't think you're a real metalhead unless you're like, worship Lemmy. Worship Lemmy. Worship Lemmy. You know,
True.
So, anyway, I think Lemmy would actually like this band quite a bit.
Probably so.
Yeah, you know. But anyway, again, I digress. This album in particular is very good. I am excited to hear what their new album sounds like when it comes out on Friday, though. Because we searched all over the place and they haven't dropped any nuggets for us to actually, like, hear any of the new stuff yet. So I am highly anticipating it and looking forward to it on this Black Friday. But we're going to go back to what we were talking about here. So there's only 2 guys in this band. Now, one of them, as I normally do, I fuck up names all the time, is Torvus. Torvus.
Right.
Right? Right. Torvus. Am I saying that right? I am
Torvus.
saying that right. Torvus. 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 Guitars and drums. And then there's Sick Bab. Sick Bab.
Sick Bab. I think so.
It's a Sick Bab. Vocals and guitars. So I'm always impressed when you got 1 or 2 dudes that do all the things in the bands. I mean, Mark, Overload, you guys are a 3-piece band.
Right.
So you make it sound so full and so, like, on point. It doesn't sound like there's just 3 guys in your band.
Oh no, I mean there's always layering and stuff, but yeah, like when it's like 2 people that do this, it's crazy. I've always enjoyed stuff like that. I wish I could do stuff like that personally.
Right, it's really impressive, and there's only 2 guys that do this, and so they've only put out 2 albums, and it's just the 2 guys and the 2 albums. But they did put out this single that we found that was quite entertaining, I have to say. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I mean, it filled my heart with, like, black glee. It was so beautiful. It's not necessarily totally black metal. It's more, like, thrash and roll.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so it has, like, these elements, definitely these elements of, like, thrash, which I don't hear on this album.
Right.
Which I'm interested on the album that drops on Friday, if it's going to be more thrashy or more black metal or more rock and roll.
Right.
That's what we get to look forward to, though. But the single, let me see here, where's my notes? It's called Medieval Strip Club. I mean, it really doesn't get much more fun than that to begin with, right? Because your brain automatically goes, okay, what does that look like?
Yeah, it's like it's like the mental image it conjures.
Right?
It's like great.
Yeah, but how big is that bush and how dirty is that snatch? Because it's medieval times.
You went there.
Man, of course I did. It's medieval times. Like, ew, nobody was clean. Like, that's like gnarly as shit. So medieval strip club. Can you just imagine taking the thong off on the bush that's just like, you know, like total like Beavis moment right there.
Like,
it was like
have hair like Carrot Top.
Right? Stuffed in a thong. Okay, anyway.
A goat skin thong.
A goat skin thong. Like, I don't know why, but it's chafing my butt cheeks. Anyway, medieval strip club. The song is actually really awesome. So I'm really hoping the new album's like a mixture of everything that we've listened to thus far. You know? So I've got to say, that was definitely like a high point for me. Oh, wait. Oh, I thought you were going to cheers me.
Oh, well, we can cheers again.
Let's do that. Tonight it's Four Roses. Yellow label, which is one of my favorites. So good. So good.
The sweet Four Roses.
I'm going to be scraping him off the floor later. Alright, so this album that we're listening to, Bad Flask, it's they actually put this album out independently. Now, their new album is actually not put out independently. That one is put out by a label called Warm Whole Death. And that's all one word.
Right.
Like, I had to look at that a couple of times. I was like, is that just a typo? But no, it's one whole word. Warm Whole Death. That's the new label. But this album that we're listening to is independent. And it was actually limited to only 300 copies. So, either you jump on it and you get it, or you fucking miss the fuck out. Speaking of that, I always like to say, when we talk about these bands and all the awesome shit they do, Bandcamp, I mean, YouTube, anywhere that bands are going to be posting their shit. Mark, I mean, you're in a band. Please tell us, what are the platforms people need to be following so they can find all the band shit that they want?
Definitely, and you know, it's everything like you just said. It's Spotify, iTunes, Bandcamp, you know, YouTube, all of that stuff. Facecrack, Instagrams, all of that stuff. Everybody needs to have something like that. Make your product as accessible as you can, because ultimately, you know, you're not going to have followers, or you're going to stay completely underground if you don't have some of this stuff to fall on. Because you'd be surprised on how many people like me, and like when I do research for the Metal Forge to seek out bands to interview, a lot of times it's based on Instagram profiles or people that have recommended it, saying, hey, check these dudes out.
Right, and that's actually how I find a lot of the bands that I listen to as well.
Right.
Besides, like, the Metal and Encyclopedia.
Yeah, the Metal Archives.
The Metal Archives, which we worship, because, oh my god, they literally have everything you want on there. Mm-hmm. If you've never been there and you're a metalhead, check it out, for sure. Right. I mean, it literally has everything you need to know about every fucking metal band on the planet. Literally, on a fucking planet. This is how I keep finding all this crazy shit, man. I mean, it's amazing that the music's out, that what's out there that you don't realize, because we're kind of like in our own little hole. You know what I mean? Like we know what's around here, what tours and what comes our way and stuff, and what our friends pass down to us and shit. But what we're not realizing, and not that we're not even realizing it, what we're not taking into consideration sometimes is like these bands like across the pond, so to speak. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
You know, and they might not have the power or the labels to get their names like over here for us. So like these websites like the Metal Archives is like such a great place to go and find all these new bands and like find bands that you would have never known existed, Like fucking, oh my god, like this shit, you know? It's so good. We literally just stumbled upon it because we were like Googling shit.
Right, and they had a listing of like black metal, black and roll, and I was like, whoa, what's black and roll? Let's check this out.
Yeah.
It's like I've never heard that expression or that genre-specific thing, air quotes.
Yeah. Air quotey thingies.
Air quotey thingies. And I'm impressed. I'm like, wow, this is pretty fucking cool.
Yep. And to top it off, they surprised me because I thought they were going to be kind of like this. I said to Mark before we started like doing all this, I was like, I don't want to go for like the typical, oh, it's cold, it's winter, let's do black metal, or doom or anything like, you know, because fuck that. Let's do something like to pick you up instead of kind of bring you down. It's already bringing us down because it's getting cold and miserable. So, you know, so I was very, very pleasantly surprised that this wasn't a doom, I'm sorry, not a doom metal, but this wasn't like a black metal band that was like, bring me like down here where I'm like, alright, somebody please like,
right,
come and like scrape me off the floor. Yeah. So, no, they're fun. They're actually like, you know, here's the thing. There's like all these different death metal, black metal, whatever. Black metal can be fun. It doesn't have to be like this.
Right. It doesn't have to be depressive.
Like, right.
You know.
Doomy, like sad and gloomy shit.
Mm-hmm.
It can still be black as fuck. And Depressive Witches they're black as fuck. But at the same time, like, they're super up here. I'm feeling, they actually make me feel more like I want to, you know, bounce around my room and shit.
Yeah, you
not
want to
like
headbang and actually, instead of just shoegaze.
Yeah, right. I'm not sitting in the dark corner like pondering all my fucking bad moves in life.
Right.
Oh my god, we've done enough of that. Anyway, my point being, I'm very pleasantly surprised, and Mark, I think you're saying the same thing.
Oh yeah, I'm
very
definitely gonna reach
surprised. And yeah, maybe we can get them on the show one day and like talk to these two guys and get to know a little bit more about them because we're both pretty impressed with what they're doing. So,
for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I do want to talk about their new album just a little bit though, because I know I'm kind of going on here. Distant Kingdom, that's their new album. And, yes, sorry, sometimes my accent gets in the way.
Distant.
What is that over there? Is that a speck? Is that a fleck? It is a distant.
Looks like a castle.
It is a kingdom. It's a distant kingdom. New album. This Friday. Black Friday. Label.
Metal Friday.
Wormhole Death. Oh. Recorded, mixed, and mastered at... What did I do with mine?
Did it say actually?
No, did it?
I don't think it said.
Hold on, because let me
She's
look.
consulting the notes.
I am. Oh, it did. No. It so did. Okay.
Compulsive note taker.
So, I am. I'm one of those. Recorded, mixed, and mastered at Blackout Studio in Brussels. And here's the thing, is that they recorded this in June of 2021. And then they started recording, don't show them my notes. And then they started and they started recording Distant Kingdom like literally not even 5 months later.
Right.
So, but it took a whole year for it to come to fruition.
Right,
so,
to actually come out on Black Friday, because it was November of 21 when they started recording and everything for Distant Kingdom.
Yeah. And so here we are. It's literally come full circle, and we didn't even mean for it to. It just kind of happened.
That's cool, though.
But it is very cool, and I really am looking forward to it. So, now we normally do, like, this thing where we do a 5-shot review, right?
Ooh.
So, I gotta say, if you haven't been paying attention in class, we're gonna have to go over the rules a little bit. Mark, have you been paying attention?
Huh?
Have you been sleeping through class?
I am kind of guilty of that sometimes.
So we have come to the end, dear Metal Misfits. It is now time for Athena's 5-shot review. Here are the rules. 5 shots. I needed 5 shots to get through the motherfucker. 4 shots. Meh. Could have had some could have used some 3 shots though. Good. Made me air drum and bang my head. 2 shots. 2 shots. Really good. Put that shit in the glove box for traveling. And one shot. Really good. Excellent. Motherfuck. Holy shit. Blows my brains out. I'll probably have a bangover in the morning. So Mark, we're both going to give our own here since this is the 200th episode.
The 200th.
So, we're both going to give reviews. And this is special. This has never happened at Metal Mischief before.
No, it never has. I'm kind of excited. You put me on the spot here.
I know. That's why I didn't tell you about it earlier. I'm going to let Mark give his review first, actually.
Oh, wow.
Mark, from Athena's 5-shot reviews, what do you want to tell everybody?
You know, actually, I'm gonna have to go with 2 shots. Really good. Put that shit in the glove box for traveling. That's gonna be my thing.
That's gonna be your thing. You know what? Honestly, I'm there with you, Mark.
Yeah.
I'm also gonna give 2 shots. Put that shit in the glove box for traveling. So, until we meet again, have a most excellent time. And don't forget, keep it heavy.